Africa's name, to some extent, goes as far as Nigeria goes in many ways. They are a force to reckon with, and that force, ladies and gentlemen, is also a problem to deal with. This is a country its people speak the loudest, both within and outside their borders, in spite of the many terminal challenges they face every day. This is a country whose spirit isn't easily broken, and if you are objective enough, you will concur with these facts, ladies and gentlemen. But a large percentage of the people of this country have chosen a pathway that cannot be encouraged, whether in Ghana, in South Africa, or in any part of the world. And this is what they have done. Ladies and gentlemen, they have given up on the fight to fix their own country and resorted to looking for what they couldn't achieve or cannot achieve in their own country, in other people's countries. And ladies and gentlemen, this shouldn't have been a problem because every other African country actually does it. Except that they are looking for this success by any means necessary and in the shortest possible time. This is the canker that plagues majority of young Nigerian immigrants anywhere they go. Shockingly, ladies and gentlemen, they are of the view that people outside of their country are not as driven and aggressive towards becoming successful as they are, not knowing that it is those same tendencies that's made their country the mess it is in. Many of them are therefore driven into all sorts of illegal enterprises anywhere they settle. Getting rich by all means necessary in the shortest possible time. This is what Nigeria is being known for now. Who doesn't want this? But is that acceptable? It has gotten to the point that they don't care how a person makes their money, so long as the person makes their money. But you and I know that that's not how it's understood in other places. Nigeria, your people are running from your country as though the entire country is at war. Both men and women, young and old, to every other country. You have now become Africa's most emigrated country, meaning you have the largest number of people living abroad compared to any other African countries. This was true 20 years ago, ladies and gentlemen, and same today, and the number isn't slowing down because the factors that causes this is still expanding. Your social media content creators who indulge in politics are either doing it with comedy to trivialize the repercussions of their words, or are doing it outside of your country for fear of their lives. Almost every well-meaning person who speaks truth to issues in Nigeria lives outside of Nigeria. Fear and terror have hijacked your country at every front. There is no non-politician fighting for the change that can bring a difference in your country anymore. Almost every relevant voice in your country is either silenced or paid at this point. Therefore, the fight other countries have to put in to attain the peace you see and desire is what you have denied and declined. It doesn't work like this, Nigeria. Nigeria, instead of trying to make yourselves relevant in other countries, instead of trying to insert yourselves into the social fabric of other countries by all means necessary, how about this? How about you go back home and build your country? You have a country that could use a lot of the smart people. How be it, ladies and gentlemen, that the ones who claim to be smart are leaving or have left the country, ladies and gentlemen. Who have they left behind? How will you build your country like this? You have abandoned your country to politicians and cabals whose interest is similar, actually, to yours. And here is my explanation to that. Similar to yours in the sense that these politicians and cabals have conquered the country and now enjoy the monopoly of their powers and will hold on to it by any means necessary as long as they can. And that same spirit, ladies and gentlemen, is what most young Nigerians carry around to other countries. Are you any different, if I may ask? You want to dominate and entrench your dominion by all means necessary in the country you've moved to for as long as you can, just like your politicians and your cabals. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the chaos in your country, and the same chaos is being exported to other African countries and to most parts of the world. You have for years elected leaders with similar mindset that has been proven over time to not work, and you don't seem to change. You have allowed for a system that manipulates and rigs election in favor of people who are clueless about nation building to lead. You have a 73-year-old president who's definitely older than 73, complaining about Nigeria not producing anything to the media. The people are complaining to the government, and the president is complaining to the media. Ladies and gentlemen, can't you see the mismatch in those who lead your country and how that has been the crux of your challenges? Does the president of Nigeria know that it is his responsibility to handle this situation or not? Ladies, an old man ruling the most dominant country in Africa, forcing every one of you to run to other places, seeking for change and recognition which you can't even find in your own home country. What other change is there for you apart from the changing of the leadership of your country for once in your lives, Nigeria? Now all of Africa will have to endure and suffer the onslaught of challenges many of your people migrate with. This cannot continue. And now an Igbo man running around in Ghana claims to be king. King of what exactly? If he is the king of Igbos as he claims, then it's more meaningful when he rules from an Igbo land, don't you think? Listen, I like the audacity with which he speaks and carries himself around, but I would love to see that same energy and audacity carried out in Nigeria instead. Could he have had such a voice in any village in Nigeria? He can only do this here because we, the Ghanaian people, have opened our doors to all. But this must stop. Mr. President of Ghana, be guided on how you go about this situation, because the youth of Ghana who made you president are talking on every platform on social media. Our voices are united against anything or anyone that would want to undermine our constitution. Mr. President, stop giving unnecessary validation to this man and his likes. The more he runs around associating and snapping pictures with you, the more he goes up.
First of all, this is the palace of the unrecognized Igbo king in Ghana. This is his palace, and this is just a snippet too. You came to somebody's country, a sovereign country, and you built this on somebody's land. Sorry, if this does not show you the intentions, or if this is not a statement of intent, I don't know what to tell you. Even bona fide chiefs in Ghana don't have this. Not that they don't have the money to put up this, they can do this, but they know the history. And then you come, and then you build this with lions and... Come on. Oh. So this is Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim, the Minister of Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. Honorable, is this allowed in the folktale of the law, where another man will come to another man's country and build such a palace, calling himself king? Is he allowed for another person to come to Ghana and call himself king? Is he allowed, Honorable? Honorable, you are from the Bono region. How will you feel if this man put up such a palace in the Bono region? How do you think the chiefs will feel that another person is calling himself king of another tribe in Ghana? Honorable, you have to do something, because we the youth, we don't like this. You have to see him and tell him to change that thing, that king thing. Probably he can call himself the leader of the Igbo community. No one cares. But he calling himself a king is what we are not, is what we don't want to hear. So Honorable, you have to do something and stop that man. And to the people in the voter region, just know that they have this sub-chief, this Igbo sub-chief in voter region, you understand? I'll do a separate video about that. But Honorable, you really have to do something about this man calling himself king. And to the Nigerians saying that, you know, they have an Igbo king in every country. The only way I will stop talking about this, if you show me the Igbo king in North Korea, no, not Korea, institute. If you show me the Igbo king in Syria, show me, then I'll stop talking about it.
I was scared. I've come across a lot of videos where a Nigerian man, an Igbo man, crowned himself as king in Ghana.
And holds
so basically,
jurisdiction
there is a
outside
kingdom.
the Nigerian
He has a
community
kingdom
in
because
Ghana
there cannot be a king without a kingdom.
Now the outrage, though
I
emotional,
know.
I feel
Until
it
I started
lacks
seeing
solid
videos of
foundation and in
Nigerians
truth, telling we Ghanaians that
we
are taking this issue out of context.
From an
that we are
objective
overreacting.
standpoint,
That this man is not going to share Ghana with us.
Administrative role,
and I was like,
strictly
wow.
within the Igbo diaspora.
Maybe they don't know the difference between a
mediate
king
internal
and a
community
chief.
issues,
So let's
preserve
educate
traditional
them.
customs,
You
and
see,
act as a
when
license
a group of people migrated
between
from
the
their
Igbo
land
people and the Ghanaian
to another
authorities.
land,
He does
and
not
they
link them
organize
to Ghanaian
themselves
land
and
authority
decide to choose a
or
leader,
influence over
that leader
native
becomes
Ghanaian
a chief,
communities.
not
Just
a
as
king.
other migrant communities around the world maintain
A king
cultural leaders
is
without even
ownership.
threatening their host nations. That is
A
what the
king
Igbo are
is
doing,
ownership.
and it should not
So
be seen as
Igbo
an
man,
attempt to
a
undermine
foreigner,
or
cannot
compete with
claim
Ghana's
ownership
respected
on a foreign land.
title or
Do you
system.
understand?
In
That
fact,
is why in
many
Ghana,
ethnic groups in Ghana,
we have
like
a lot of
the
tribes
Zabama,
and
Hausa,
clans in
or
Ghana,
even foreign
but their
nationals,
leaders are not
have
referred to
community
as
heads without
kings,
raising tension.
but chiefs.
So attacking the idea of
Let's
an
take
Igbo
the
king,
Ebers, for
it does not
instance.
only breeds unnecessary
We
division,
don't have
but
a
also
kingdom
risks
or a
damaging the
king
peaceful
on the Everland
coexistence between
because
Nigerians
they
and
believe that
Ghanaians.
they
Nations that have
migrated from somewhere to
historically
Ghana.
stood together through
Okay?
trade,
So they
migration,
cannot
and
claim
shared
ownership.
culture.
They
Instead
can
of
only be
pushing back
chiefs to
against
lead their
cultural
people.
expression, Ghanaians should
Although
recognize the
the
role such
Efe
leaders
themselves,
should
the
play in
Efe land
maintaining
itself is
order
an
and harmony
empire.
with
Wait, check
immigrant
history.
communities.
Their
Having an Igbo
empire.
king in Ghana
So their
is
leaders
not about
are
ruling
emperors.
over Ghana. It's
But we
about
cannot say that
preserving
in
the
Ghana.
identity
So we are just calling
of
them
the
chiefs.
Igbos in a foreign land.
In
And
Ghana, we have
globalized
only
Africa,
one
that
major
shouldn't
kingdom.
be feared.
That is the
It should be
Ashanti kingdom.
respected. Well,
Because
I'll
they
be in the
claim that
comment
Ghana belongs
section.
to them. Even
Please,
that
but
there is a
before then,
question mark because they are the
kindly
last people to
share,
settle
and
in Ghana.
subscribe.
So there is no way a total foreigner, an Igbo man coming to call himself a king with a kingdom in Ghana means he is claiming ownership. So one day, truth be told, 30, 40, 50, 60 years to come, our generation that are coming after us, they'll try to acquire the property somewhere and they'll tell you that this belongs to the Igbo kingdom. Because of this day, because of you and I, we did not do anything about it. We did not put them in their places. You are a foreigner. You cannot claim ownership in Ghana. Do you know how many numbers of Nigerians we have in Ghana? Do you know how many of them have Ghana cards? Nigerians have Ghana cards. And you said we are taking this out of content. Seriously? Seriously? Let the government just keep quiet. One day we'll be ghosts in the other world and we'll cry. We'll see how our generation will suffer in their hands. Try it.
The Ghana Immigration Service. First and foremost, this guy prided himself as an Igbo king in Ghana. It's wrong. Because in Ghana, there's no tribe called Igbo. Secondly, he is a foreigner, a Nigerian residing in Ghana, which is not a crime, as long as he has legal residence permit. The only thing he can do as an Igbo in Ghana is to form an association of Igbos in Ghana, of which he can call himself the chairman. He cannot create a kingdom because there is no tribe in Ghana called Igbo. So you guys should stop this guy now before it gets out of hand. He's a foreigner, even if he has naturalized to gain Ghanaian citizenship. He cannot become a king in Ghana. You guys know this. So why are you sitting down idle for this thing to happen? Stop him now. There is nothing like Igbo tribe in Ghana. So we cannot have Igbo kingdom in Ghana. It is wrong. Even now, if he has become a Ghanaian by naturalization, where he resides, the king there is who he's supposed to swear allegiance to. He doesn't create a kingdom to become a king when there is no tribe called Igbo in Ghana. I was born in Ghana from a village called Gumwajama. The chief there, when I was a Ghanaian, he was my chief. Now I'm a Dutch citizen, so my king is the Dutch king. So, Your Excellency, John Dramani Mahama, and Ghana Immigration, the chieftaincy minister, stop this nonsense from this guy now. before it gets out of hand. Your citizens are complaining that they don't want it. Listen to them. Remember, they voted for you to get power. So heed to their call, Your Excellency. Thank you.
Very, very sickening. Very, very sickening. I've chanced on this video and it lends credence to the ulterior motive of this so-called leader of the Igbo community in Ghana, who is parading himself as a king, a self-acclaimed king, Chukwudu Jude. Authorities in Ghana must put their feet on the ground and ensure that drastic measures are taken to stem that tide. It is very, very disturbing. He is in with an ulterior motive. You check out this video. Abusia, we Ghana nkomo. Share video we bra. Na wa usha. Ubohu de meche no ati ase yie pa. Opanino. Adwene woni tirimo de bagana mam hono mpanimfo no mo ntena se no mo nyenhwe ha. Amua ba ku sei kura. Ni kromu Imo State no. Why ene betimi akọ Imo State no atimi akọ Imo State se okwa akọchichire Accra Town ewo Imo State. Accra Town bia ni Imo State. Ayo ni kromu. Nti esi dan no ono de oso ono wo bagana no abagana nkranmamu no akoningo. Sam George umpesu aso na sa de ne koso. No akọ akọchichire eye Igbo State ewo ningo. Amagana.